Very good morning to everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pertama sekali saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kerana menjemput saya untuk this opening remark for the 4th SALCO for 2020. Dan saya juga mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucap selamat Hari Raya, maaf zahir batin, dan juga selamat menyambut Hari Gawai kepada semua rakan-rakan
everyone
yang meraihkannya. Ladies and gentlemen, this year we are celebrating Hari Pustakawan.
Our opening remark by CEO tadi lah.
Congratulations to the Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A very good morning to everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pertama sekali saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kerana menjemput saya untuk this opening remark for the 4th SALCO for 2020. Dan saya juga mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucap selamat Hari Raya, maaf zahir batin, dan juga selamat menyambut present speakers and papers of Sarawak librarians or those officers who work in libraries on the contents that they have created. SALCO with the new normal, kita tak dapat have a face-to-face seperti biasa. So now we're having SALCO or using virtual conference. Now, this is the 4th SALCO organized by the committee. And every year we will present speakers and papers of Sarawak librarians or those officers who work in libraries on the contents that they have created. Now, these new ways, new times, new environment, what we experienced just about 3 months ago is different from what we are going to experience in the next few years to come. And as librarians, we have to raise up to the occasion and prove that no matter what the situation, no matter what the environment, no matter what the changes are, librarians and libraries will continue to stay relevant. Actually, that is the tagline for this year's Hari Pustakawan Malaysia. Staying relevant, kekal relevant atau tetap relevant. For the paper presenters this morning, thank you so much for agreeing to come and share your ideas and your effort in knowledge or knowledge creation. This is a high time for us, for librarians and for those working in the library, not just managers of sources of information, but also as creators of contents raised or based on the resources that we have in the library, based on our work procedures, based on our experience. It is very important that we share our knowledge with each other. And in these new coming times, all the more so important our collaborations, our networking with each other from different types of libraries or even different organizations will continue to be taking our priority first and foremost. This is important because in this new normal, we have to raise a complete ecosystem that can help the librarians, the officers working in libraries, and the libraries to stay relevant. We cannot be standing on our own. We have to work with other organizations. Now, the next way forward for, if I may suggest, and is something that is close to my heart and which I've always campaigned to my colleagues in Pustaka, is we have to start doing knowledge creation. In the next economy, move over digital economy, because it is a new digital. It is something different. The digital that we're talking about all these past 20 years will be different from the next digital. It will be a total ecosystem of, as I mentioned just now, with other players as well. Now, how do we move the way forward? We will have to think about being very agile in terms of how we do things. We have to be prepared by people working from various locations. We have to be prepared with changing job descriptions in order to meet the new work environment. Some of us who are used to the physical way of doing things will have to learn into how to do it in a virtual way. And we might have to change our job descriptions. God knows what else will be in store for us in the next 6 months to 12 months. Now, and with this connectivity, all the more so we need to be working very closely with each other. On that remark, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow librarians all over, I would like to wish everyone Selamat Hari Pustakawan Malaysia yang akan jatuh pada 6 hari bulan Jun setiap tahun. And for this year, it is indeed a remarkable year with the COVID pandemic, and it really raised the librarians to the occasion by really fulfilling when we call ourselves as digital libraries. Now we are really librarians. So stay safe, stay relevant, and let's work together with each other in the meantime. Congratulations again to the committee for organizing this, and this will be the way forward for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rashid Abul Hassan. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Dr. Rashid Abul Hassan, the CEO or Chief Executive Officer of Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. It is a pleasure for us to welcome you, all audience, to the 4th SALCO or Sarawak Annual Librarians Colloquium. So it's the 4th Kolokium, but the first one in the webinar session. Okay, so it's, and we are proud to have presented today. So we have 4 paper presentation, and we will have 4 poster presentation that will be presented today, and a session of forum with 3 librarians from 3 different organizations. So for this webinar session, all the paper presenter will be presenting for 15 minutes. To audience who needs to ask questions, you can click on the Q&A button and you can ask the questions. The speaker will then either answer you live, or they will answer you in the chat window. Okay, so without further ado, before that, I am Haja Emilia Ibrahim. So I'll be the moderator for today. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our first presenter. Our first presenter is Puan Sabaria Abdul Samad from University Technology Mara. So Puan Sabaria will be presenting a paper entitled Empowering Through Librarian. Okay, this paper is co-written by Puan Sabaria Abdul Samad and Puan Haja Emilia Ibrahim. So a little bit about Puan Sabaria Abdul Samad. She graduated from University Technology Mara. She has been working in UiTM Sarawak for 14 years. She is a senior lecturer in the Faculty of Information Management. So being a lecturer, Puan Sabaria has been involved in many students and research activities around Malaysia, and particularly in the state of Sarawak. Her research focuses on multiple areas in information management, language and culture, as well as digital divide and education. Currently, she is working on a study related to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on distance and online learning. So over to you, Puan Sabaria.
Okay. All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Good morning. Can you see me? Okay. All right. Okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the moderator, Puan Hajah Emilia Ibrahim, whom also my sparring partner for this paper. And happy Librarian Day to all librarians in this group as well as throughout the world. Okay. To start, this is our paper, Empowering Through Librarian. So that as you can see, we are talking about how can we empower our society, how can the librarian helps to empower the society, especially during these trying times. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so with the tagline, stay relevant, I believe it is very important for all the librarians to stay relevant no matter whether it's before the pandemic or during the pandemic, okay? And even you must stay relevant after the pandemic. All right, so therefore we have to look at the roles. What can our beloved librarian do to help the community to become someone, or the community that to help the community, I mean to help the community lah, okay, during this period of time. Okay, so to start with, all right. First of all, you can see that the definitions of librarians, if you actually see it from the dictionary, there is no specific terms of librarian. But our intention here is what we define with this kind of term is where we wanted our community to have skills that librarian have. To have the community to have the mindsetting that librarian have. So what kind of skills and mindsetting that librarian have? Okay, you know that librarian is a very special person where if they are looking for information, they look for a valid information with the right sources and so on. So especially nowadays with the current situations where everybody will go through online and so on. So we wanted them to have the same attitude. We wanted the society to have the same ability, where if they are looking for the information, please look for something that is valid, that is true. Okay, not only not only from something that they don't know where is the sources. Okay, so when we talk about this one, this is what we call as the wake-up call. Okay, pandemic is the turning point for everything, where the paradigm shift should be started here. I can say that we are actually a blessing in disguise, where we are sad with this pandemic. We are quite unhappy with the COVID-19 things that happening now. But at the same time, we have to look this one as the turning point for us, for everybody to change into something that can be better. Okay, so as you can see that this kind of scenario, I mean now the pandemic, with this kind of scenario where people are disconnecting from each other, I mean in terms of the socials and so on, where all the operations need to be done virtually, all the things, all the offline things need to be cut. There is less business can operate. Okay, the open and distance learning environment become something that compulsory, although we already have this distance learning or virtual learning, online learning way before, but only now we see it and we apply it seriously in our daily life. And then you can see that the less dependence on physical library materials. Okay, when this thing happen, we know that the library need to be closed. Okay, people cannot go to the library, the society cannot reach to the library physically. But although they can't go to the library physically, but the library is still there, the librarian still need to do the job. And the thing is you still need to reach to your community, your existing user. You cannot, we must support our existing user. They still need to have things that they wanted from the library and so on. So as this wake up call, you can see that the internet is the new norm. Okay, everybody look or use the internet every now and then. They keep on looking and searching for informations, namely, for examples, of course, during when we start with the pandemic and so on, people start to search, what is this all about? What are the symptoms? Do I have the symptoms? Do my symptoms actually meet with the pandemic and so on? Pandemic. Do I have the symptoms of COVID-19 and so on? So people start looking to the informations using the internet. So therefore, it's very important for them to have the actual, the skills that what our fellow librarian have. Okay, so their information seeking and distributions become very active. Okay, and you can see nowadays people at all levels of life, they have the computer, they have the internet, they are looking for and searching for the informations every now and then, day and night, 24/7. Especially if you can still remember, for the past 3 months, almost everybody staying at home, and well, the internet become the backbone. Okay, thank God, our government, our beloved government pun give us what we call it as a free internet to all the members of society, at least 1 gig per day. Okay, but this is what we call it as the wake up call. This is where people can the wake up call required people to find to get the valid informations. Therefore, the librarian have to do something to help the society to find what is the correct informations with the appropriate skills that needed. Okay, next one. Okay, the Act of Librarian, if you can see from here, okay, we have two situations where at the present ataupun previously on our left, the presence of librarian, they give a service as the conventional librarians business. What are the conventionals? I believe most of you know, or this what have you practiced during your sorry for the this what have you been practiced in your office, okay, where you are doing the circulations, you have face-to-face reference activities, you have the offline workshop and seminar where we handle a lot of workshops and seminar. And I believe if it's not due to the COVID-19, this CELCO also need to be conducted face-to-face, right? As well as the physicals, library physicals activities. Presently, we have this one. I mean, previously, before the situations, these are the things that people do, and these are the things that librarians do in order to support the community. But if we are talking about the future, okay, if we are talking about the future, ataupun if we are talking about currently, what can you do to help the society? Okay, what can the librarians do to help the society? So for the future, we see it, the librarians should bring the library to a community where build a library for them, encourage home library set up, embedding the culture of librarianships into people. So these librarianships where we teach people how to do a proper search strategy, how they can actually do the filtering informations, and we wanted still, although in front of the computer, we wanted them to keep on have the reading habit. We wanted to cultivate the reading habit among our society. So if we look at the roles, okay, the roles of librarian, at the moment, it is very important for all librarians to create awareness. What kind of awareness? Awareness, especially if we are talking about now, we wanted librarians to create awareness to the society about the public health. Okay, the society need to get the actual information. The society need to get the valid information. So how can they get the valid information? We can assist them on that. Okay, and then with something else. All right. So if before this, we ataupun the work of librarians normally behind the wall, behind the 4 square walls. So now you can work 24/7 if you wanted to, or if not, is the virtuals allow us to share the informations, the knowledge with our society, with our user every now and then. Okay, so there is no time limitations basically that can stop you from sharing something with your community ataupun with your user. Okay, so when we talk about bridging a library to a community, I know this is what we have done before, build a library for every community. And we wanted our community to have one good library, which is good, okay? But we know that these are the things that we have to consider. When you wanted to create a library in a community, you have to think about the budget, you have to think about the volunteers who will be able to help to set up the library, we have to talk about the time, and this is the time consuming as well as the red tapes that are available where there are do and don'ts in order to set up a library. Sometimes we agree to set up the library in certain area. Unfortunately, due to certain things, do and don'ts, we will not allow and so on. As well as the venue. For your information, as part of the social service in our faculty, we have set up a mini library every semester in certain area. Okay, we have set up a library in Kampung Bajo, if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago, but we do it every semester. And there are pros and cons. Okay, the society really appreciate it, and we as the faculty, we also love to have this kind of community service. We love to help the society to build up the what we call it as the mini library and so on. But after sometimes there are few things that we have to consider. For examples, we set up a library in Kampung Bajo. I don't remember. It was back in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. We set up the library, the mini library, in one of the corner in their one community. After sometimes we come back and we know we were informed that the library have been moved. They shift the library, the mini library, from the day one into their surau. Why this thing happened? Due to certain maybe the local issues and so on. So although physical library is still relevant, people or community need the this kind of library physically, but at the same time now, especially nowadays, we wanted to have a new norms for the library where we want to bring a library to our community. What is the meaning of bringing a library to a community? Here means that we wanted, if possible, each of the family or each house in our community can set up their own mini library. Bila kata mini library tu, it not necessarily they must have one big shelf or a proper table and chair just like a library. No, but we want them to have a sense of having a reading corner in their house. I believe most of us Malaysians, we do have the reading materials. Okay, tak adalah sampai kata macam baru-baru ni the issue where this yang viral saying that pergi ke rumah orang, dalam rumah orang Melayu tak ada langsung library. I don't think so. I believe most of us, we do have the reading materials in our house. Cumanya dia tidaklah mungkin diletakkan a specific in the corner, tepi pintu rumah and so on. So therefore, we wanted to encourage every family to set up their own mini library. So when you have what we call as a mini library at your own house. This is where you have your own materials, you have your own resources, you have your own space, your time, but do they have the skills? So when we talk about the skills, this is where the librarian should come into the picture. So you have to go and assist the community who insist or who have the interest to set up their own mini library. So what kind of skills? Why? Because of these skills, as I've mentioned earlier on, you are special. Librarians are so special. You have these librarian minds, you have the librarian skills. So we wanted the community at large to have your mind setting. We wanted them to have the skills that you have, so that they also can set up their own mini library, their reading corner at home, and so on. Because without the skills, without the appropriate skills, as I mentioned, they have the books. Kalau ada anak yang dekat, if they have a children who going to school and so on, of course there will be at least a textbook at home. Okay, so how suppose they do with the textbook? Okay, where should they put it properly, all this textbook and so on? I believe most of us ataupun our community will definitely have their materials, have their reading materials. Cumanya they need us to help them to set up a proper area ataupun to have the sense of reading corner or mini library in their own house. Okay, so this is what we call it as the roles of librarians now and forever. Okay, as a consultant, where you can have the online workshop, you can have the webinar, you can have the online meeting, you can have the consultations, online consultations to anyone who have the interest to build up the mini library. Okay, so that they won't left behind, so that they know that I believe Pustaka have created some sort of not promotion, created macam pertandingan, is it? To have the mini library at home. So maybe you can extend, instead of the pertandingan, you can have the online workshops teaching the community who have the interest, and you can teach them how to can actually create a mini library, a reading corner at their own house. So because basically, not because of the physicals of the library itself sahaja, but the most important thing is why we have this kind of initiative is we wanted to make sure that our society, we want to cultivate the reading habits in our society. Okay, banyak buku means we want them to read, not only to display the books and so on. Okay, because the knowledge is not basically only on the books. Okay, we want people to have it, all right, to know, to have the skills and so on. So and as part of the consultant, maybe you can have the live chat, all right. Maybe I believe some of your library have done this, where you have the live chat, you helps your you helps your users on how to do things and so on. And when we talk about this one, tadi saya kata mengenai how to set up the mini library and so on. It's not forgotten that there are different types of librarians, where if we are talking about librarians in higher institutions or academic library, this is where you go to your user. Okay, I believe you have all the online things and so on. So you promote more your materials to your user. All right. So instead of having the online or conventional online services and resources, we promote all the e-books, all the online databases. We promote the usage, we promote how to use it virtually. Okay, the good things about having everything shift or from traditional into a virtual platform is we have a limitations ataupun The good thing is now we are not restricted with the time. I believe time is not main issue. Alright, where bukanlah sampai pukul 12 malam pun your consumer ataupun your user keep on asking you the things. I mean, we are more flexible, okay? Therefore, you can actually promote whatever that you have with you to your community, to your user. If they couldn't go to you, especially now they could not access to your materials, to the physical materials, we go to our society, we go to our user, we teach them, we promote to them what do we have in what do we have in our library, okay, so that they actually will get the benefits from that, okay? Because I think this is my personal view. I think one thing that all libraries as well as librarians should consider is the promotional methods on how can you promote more your services as well as your materials to the user as well as your community. Okay, nowadays since we are using the platform, the online platform, you can reach them by using the WhatsApp, you can reach them by using whatever the online materials, with your Facebook, with your IG live and so on. So people are more aware with your existence, okay? So I believe the community, the society, they love to use the materials. It's sometimes just they don't know how to get it, how to reach it, how to access to it. So maybe this is where this COVID-19 is the best turning point, is the best paradigm shift that you can start to actually go and have the reach to your society or community, or reach to your user more closely. Okay, so for examples, you can promote not only ebooks or online databases, anything that you think it's relevant. For an example, I'll give you a few examples. For examples here, do you know about Google Trends? Okay, Google Trend is one of the Google created by Google's, where you can actually look what are the trending things that happening now. For example, I show it to you the examples of what is this Google Trends. Okay, so this is a very useful tools that you can use to start searching on something that is trending. Okay, sebagai contohnya, this is the Google Trends. Okay, so this Google Trend is very useful, especially if you are a researcher. You can try to find what are the things, what are the trending things that happening now, bukan setakat sekarang, bukan setakat bulan lepas. You can even search in the daily or in the real time. And here you can see the difference between the searching ability of country. For example, let's see what do Malaysians people look for the past 24 hours. They are looking for the tax exemptions, sales exemptions for vehicles. I believe this one is related to what our PMs have announced yesterday. Okay, let's see what happening in United States. For example, you can search here, United States. Okay, what do they search? Okay, so these are the issues that they search. The daily, they are talking about the Buffalo Police, and look at the number of search. They have about 500,000 search about this kind of thing. So it's very wonderful. It's a very beautiful to see that how people are searching, or how people are using the online platform to search for information. So this one, you can actually do a comparison between those who are in United States compared to in Malaysia. Look at what happened in Malaysia and Malaysian. How many of Malaysians looking for the information? The information too actually related to the what our topics are. Okay, in Malaysia, okay, if we look at yesterday, 20,000, only 20,000 Malaysians, 20,000 plus Malaysians are looking for BTS. BTS tu apa? Orang muda kenal lah kot. Okay, and about this number, okay, about this number. So, you know, this kind. So that is where how important we as a librarian, as the information professionals, to promote the right things to our community, to our user. And of course, our user, they love to the community, the user, they love to know something that is new, something that is valid, something that is correct. Okay. Or beside that, beside the Google Trends, maybe one the second examples I would like to share with you is this one, where if we are talking about the COVID-19, there is one WhatsApp number. So this one you can tell your society where if they are looking for the correct information related to the COVID-19 globally, they can just say hi to WHO, World Health Organization. So WHO will respond to you with a lot of data, a statistic. Therefore, in a way, we actually highlighting the correct information to our user, because having our community using the internet is one issue. Having them using the right strategy is another issue that we need to consider. Okay, because we wanted our beloved Malaysians not only popular with the internet, but we wanted them to become someone that is we wanted them to have a correct ways as well as to have a valid informations all the time. Okay, so as for the conclusions, okay, post-pandemic libraries need to adapt to the new norms. Okay, as I would like to quote what Dr. Rashida mentioned just now, where we have no idea what's going on in the next 6 months or 12 months, but we believe that the new norms will be applied, where people will start thinking and people start to aware and try to avoid the physical things in their daily life. So as a library, as the institutions, as the information institutions where we are the information provider, we don't want our society left behind without the appropriate ways to get the information. Okay, so although social distancing is a good way to prevent the spread of COVID-19, but helping the community having an access to the right and valid information is the most important thing, and this is the remain as a social responsibility of librarians and information personnel. So all librarians, please be visible but be vigilant as well. All right, so I think that's all from me. Should you have anything, I leave it back to Puan Moderator.
Okay, thank you very much, Puan Sabaria. So, Puan Sabaria, there might be questions on the YouTube, the Kolokium YouTube page. So, can you log into the YouTube page and maybe answer some of the questions? YouTube? So you can just chat with the audience.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you very much. Because we don't have much time, so questions and answer can be done either here in the Zoom or in the YouTube page. Okay, moving on to our next presenter. Okay, we will have a paper entitled Basic and Modest Learning Skills Concluded Immense Effect. Okay, this paper is co-written by Surya Sonia Ahib, Abdul Aziz Bujang, and Muhammad Kazri bin Muhammad Ramzi Faisal. And today we will have Muhammad Kazri as our presenter. So a little bit about Muhammad Kazri. Okay, he is a librarian with the reference service unit in Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. He graduated from UiTM with Bachelor of Science in Information Studies, Library and Information Management with minor in Information System. So he is the head of reference service unit, and at the same time, he is also the head of OSH internal audit unit for Pustaka Miri, and a design thinking innovation ambassador for Malaysia University School. So Mr. Kazri, over to you.
Hi, thank you, Madam Emilia. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. So, okay, let me proceed with my slides. Yeah. Okay. Right. So this is a paper that we submitted to IFLA 2020, which is under the Local Literature and Genealogy Joint with Indigenous Meta and Rare Books and Special Collections under the themes of Local History and Genealogy Collections, Classifications, etc. Okay, before I proceed with my this paper, I would like, we have divided this presentation into a few points, which is, as you can see on the left of the slides. Okay, so this is our paper titles. Basic and modest learning skills concludes immense effect. Sorry. And this is our group member, which is me, myself, Muhammad Kazri, and Madam Suraya Sonia, and Encik Abdul Aziz Bujang. Okay. So what is the program that I've or submitted to IFLA? This program is called PWBT, which is Pertandingan Warisan Budaya Tempatan or Local Content Competitions. Okay. Actually, this is a research writing competition based on the theme that we have set every year for a group of students, and this is this program is focused on the secondary school students in Sarawak State, which actually this program also contributes to the development of Sarawak Canal collections. And the objective of the program is, as you can see here, is to guiding and train participants in information searching through the authentic sources. Sorry. Okay. Through the authentic sources, collecting, analyzing, and summarizing information obtained to produce an inclusive and comprehensive research, and to produce participants who are knowledgeable and develop interest and skills in higher research writing. Okay, the introduction of the program. Actually, this program, PWBT program is started in 2008 in the northern region of Sarawak, which is starting from University and Bintulu. After that, we proceed with the northern region of Sarawak, which is to Limbang, Awas, and another part of northern regions. So this program has been implemented around 13 years and having a 206 group of young researchers doing 150 researchers and 824 participants and 5 divisions of northern region. So this is a kind of like a summary of this program starting from 2008 until 2020. So how do we implement this program? So actually, this program is being implemented either at the schools or the public library around that area that we want to implement. So the first thing we will brief, we will give a briefing of the term and condition of the competition, which is like how the marks is given, how the presentation should be, and everything. And actually, this workshop are usually on around 3 days only. Okay. Then another part is theory and practical training. Okay, we're giving them a theory, then we'll give us some kind of like exercise, and then after that we'll proceed with the team training and group presentations, and localization of implementation depends on the participants. So in this program, there are a few modules that we have created. For example, as you can see on the right screen of your slides, the first one is module 1, which is information literacy skills. In these modules, we have teach students pertaining to the information searching tools. For example, it's like Big 6 skills, 5W1H, SWOT analysis and everything. So how do they use that kind of tool for specific reason, for specific objective that they wanted to have? So another one is module 2, research writing. This is kind of like not 100% equal to like university level of research writing, but then we simplified those research writing based on the secondary level schools. Another one is module 3, references and citations. So this module, I think is the most crucial parts of this module, because of like, if not all of the students, even the teachers, are not used to doing a citation and referencing. Why? Because as what we have asked them or shared with them, they're only doing a copy pasting and everything. Is it right to have the plagiarism or everything? But then with this model referencing and citations, they will have the standardized citations and referencings to be put in their research paper. So another one is module 4, video documentations. Okay, so this module 4, video documentation, will teach the students or a group of students with their teacher how to present their raw data into a specific video. I mean, how to edit the video, how to put the sounds, how to put everything, how to put, giving a template to their raw data, which can be presented during the competition days. And another one is module 5 for oral history. So actually, this is related to our technical service division in Pustaka, which is they're doing a lot of oral history, but this one is focusing more to villages, adults. But then for this module 5 is focusing on students, how they're doing their oral history to get the primary information resource from the villages or their elders. Okay, they're going to have an interview, how they set up their camera, how they ask the questions, how they ready the questions, how they do doing a transcribe. Getting getting a data from whatever they recorded into the videos. And another one is module 6, presentation skills. We are not said that we are 100% professional in teaching this presentation skill, but we teach them how to make a clear presentations, slides, how to use the right fonts, right font color, everything, to make sure those kind of informations are understandable by the viewers. So another one is module 7, graphic design skills. This is more focusing on the poster, because of this PWT for 2020. We include poster competition between this group of schools. So we create these modules to teach them on the graphic design skills. Okay, then another one, last one is module 8, which is a cloud storage. Okay. Have you heard about the iCloud? Yes, for sure. If you are iOS users, Androids, maybe you use a Google Drive. It also like a Dropbox, everything. But this one is, we are focusing on the free database that can be used for the presentation. Not only for this, but then this one can be used until the university levels. All right, the cloud storage. What we teach in these modules. For starting, we will teach them pertaining to the brief information of what is cloud storage. They will teach them how to step by step, how to register, how to create an email, so everything, then how to use this software, how to implement it, and every of this research writing or video that have been created. Okay, we ask each of school sending us using a cloud storage, which means we teach them. Then after that, we ask them to practice it, how to use it, and if they have a questions, we have a WhatsApp group for questions, Q&A, for this kind of programs. So this is the 8 modules for these workshops. Okay, so how do we want to make sure this program are successfully implemented, successfully being done? So we are having our smart partner, which is Pustaka ourselves, Jabatan Pendidikan Sarawak, IPG, Institute Perguruan Sarawak, Institute Perguruan, and Curtin University. Okay. So this is 4 pioneer of Pustaka Smart Partner, which is will help us in doing this program all around the northern regions, giving the right informations to our modules, everything. So we have a smart collaboration between these 4 groups of organizations to make sure this one is successfully implemented. And another one is the impact of program. The first one is increase the level of information literacy skills and research writing. Okay, and produce a generation of independent researcher, which is usually after the students, a group of students joining this program, they will used to how to do the simple research writing for their, school tasks, everything. Then they're used to use Google's everything to search for the informations in the right things. Okay. Then the third one is participants more confidence, public speaking, and always motivated. So in this model, as you can see previously, we teach them how to make public speaking, everything. So in the same time, we teach them how to stand up in the front and speak to the publics, pertaining to what they have done, pertaining to their research, and more new generation of future researcher. It is not a university level of research, but this one is kind of like a first step for our students here to be next researcher in maybe university levels or furthermore. So this one is the impact of programs on participants. So the first one is, of course, increase their teamwork, which they have to work together between a group of people or a group of schools to dig out the information that they need. And another one is to increase research writing skills. Okay, then maximizing the usage of the library for research purposes and increase knowledge on local content. Some of how do we maximize the usage of the library for research purposes? So we're giving them a team for these competitions. After that, we're giving them this variety of information resources and how to get it, how to use it, and everything. Then we share what we have in Pustaka. For example, we have an online database. We have a e-gazette, Sarawak Gazette, and everything that can contribute to their research writings. So, and most of us includes the panelists or everything, include students, teachers, some of knowledge of Sarawak indigenous groups that we never heard of. For example, something that can substitute the Ajinomoto, which is what they call as like daun tubuh, if I'm not mistaken. This one is some kind of product, local product that can be bring internationally. So through this kind of program, this product, kind of simple research that they do is giving a kind of like international information needs on some group of people. It's okay. So I think this one is maybe the last slides of my paper presentation today. So this one is a return of investments. So as you know, Pustaka is not like profitable positions. We are not focusing on the ROI in terms of monetary, but our ROI is more focusing on the knowledge increment of knowledge in the Sarawak society. So what we have here is the Sarawak-Kena series. Okay, series Sarawak-Kena Kompilasi Warisan Budaya Tempatan Wilayah Utara Sarawak from 2008 and 2015. With on the right side is the some subtopic, simple research from a specific group of students to be put in the books. As you can see, is adat kematian, adat perkahwinan dan makan tahun, permainan kuit, adat kematian kaum kejaman, and adat mendirikan rumah lami. No. Okay. So I'm sure that most of us not really have been heard about the titles that been put it in these books. So this is Pustaka benefits from these programs. What we have preserved Sarawak indigenous local content to be produced as a books to be shared among the Sarawakians and Malaysians. So I think that's it for our paper here. All right, so if you've got anything to ask, so you can contact us here. And so I give back to our moderator, Madam Emilia Ibrahim, for certain other sessions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kazri. So I believe there will be questions asked. You can check the Q&A section and the YouTube page. Okay, there was an interesting papers just now, and I believe this is another being done by Pustaka Negeri in creating new knowledge and local content. So we will continue with the poster presentation now. We have 4 poster presentations, and we have one presenter that will be presenting 2 posters today. So I hope Encik Edison is well and ready, because I heard that he just had an accident a few days back. So he's quite in pain, but he is so spirited to present today. So we have 2 interesting posters that he will present. The first one is creating a reading culture ecosystem, the Reading Seeds program. And the next one is digital inclusivity for community well-being. So Mr. Edison, he received both his Bachelor of Library Science and Masters in Information Management from University Technology Mara. And for the past 23 years, he has been working as a librarian in several different library settings. Okay, he has worked in a special library, which is the Institute Bank Malaysia and Bursa Malaysia Berhad. He also worked in academic library, which is Taylor's University and Taylor's University Library, and currently, okay, for many years he is attached to Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, and he is heading the Information Service Division. Yeah, Mr. Edison. Okay, so I'm giving the session to Mr. Edison to present both his posters. Over to you, Mr. Edison.
Okay, thank you, Puan Emilia. And also I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you Happy Hari Pustakawan Malaysia 2020. And also like to thank the SALCO Organizing Committee for the opportunity to share two of the projects initiated by Pustaka Negeri Sarawak and our partner on the reading seat and digital inclusivity program. Okay, thank you. Before I proceed, I also like to acknowledge my co-author, Dr. Rashida, for the both of these posters presentation. My co-author is Dr. Rashida. She has been very instrumental in these projects, and I learned a lot from her all the way. And then she had been very supportive, and all the input from both of these posters is actually from Dr. Rashida, and we both try to get the best of that content that we want to present it into a posters form. And I'm pleased to inform you that the first poster that I'm going to present is the creating a reading culture ecosystem. The reading seat program has been accepted at the American Library Association's annual conference exhibition in Chicago. But due to the pandemic, the poster session will be in the form of virtual. Please look out at the program of the event will be held from 24th to 26th of June, very soon, yeah? Okay, without further ado, I'd like to share the first poster. Okay, before I proceed, I would like also to acknowledge this poster also designed by my colleague, our regional manager in Cek Fairul, Azli Banchit. He who had designed this poster. Oh, I have problem. Sorry for the technical session. I need to stop the sharing first because there's a technical. Okay, then I need to share again. There's a technical glitch there. Sorry about that. Sorry for the technical session. I need to stop the sharing first. All right. Stop sharing, then I share again. Is it share? Can you see that? When I, okay, yeah, okay. Right. Okay. Okay. This poster is about the reading seat program which been initiated by Pustaka as early as 2003. Yeah. And it evolved for the past, for the last 17 years. So now it's known as Reading Set. It's actually a family literacy program that we inculcate for as early as antenatal, from birth. Okay, these projects we actually have been collaborate with a lot of partners. Yeah, we are not working alone. We work with a lot of partners in order to pursue these projects. Okay, the first thing is why we do this. Yeah, why we do reading seat program. There's so many library in Malaysia. There's so many resources. Why we still do the program? Yeah. So the first thing is that trigger us to do this is the reading habit of Malaysia generally. For the past, in the last interim report by the National Library on the reading habit in 2014, found out that only 15 books a year Malaysian read per year. So what's gone? What been? Why this happening? You know, why the reading culture still not as, you know, we are entering the digital economy. We should be reading more than 15 books, right? So so these are the gray area. You know, again, we have so many network library resources around Malaysia, and why? You know, we have so many books, so many library branches, Perpustakaan Desa, public library, state library around Malaysia, and all our community able to access these resources. But again, generally the circulation, the reading habit, the circulation, borrowing of book still very low, despite all this all this facility. So Pustaka Negeri Sarawak realized this, you know. So we start with birth, you know, start from the baby, you know, from it's not too late. We do the program is to create the reading society, you know, knowledgeable society, you know, by embedding the early literacy as early as 3 months old, you know, where we give the startup tools, reading module for parents, young parents below 3 years old, and they're eligible to participate to this program. Okay, as you see here, our journey as early as 2003, we benchmark National Library Board Singapore. That time we the program known as Born to Read program. We benchmark, we do pilot tests, pilot program with the few clinics, 4 clinics. Gita, I was one of them who start up that, where we go to child mother clinic, clinic Ibu dan Anak, to give them a set of books plus a bit of examination on the importance of reading. As early, we approach the mother while waiting for their appointment at the hospital, at the clinic. So we approach one by one and explain one-to-one session with them. As years goes by, we in 2012 we develop and also we benchmark every child ready to read module, which is also actually we benchmark American Library Association module. And as time goes by, in 2016, we start with a structured program, meaning that we come out with the kids, proper kids. We work with our partner. Later on, I will share you how the ecosystem look like. And also, as today, we have already, we start out with 2016 with a mere budget of 5,000. Despite a limited budget, we still able to start up the program by collaborating with local illustrator, author to produce reading material. As you know, reading material is very expensive, right? You know, if you buy at the local bookstore, it's very expensive. Not everyone could afford a reading material for the child. So to make a cost, we get this volunteer of illustrator and author to produce this basic reading for the baby. As it's all by volunteer, and we just print in-house. Okay, as in 2017 we start with Reading Seed 2.0, yeah, which is we collaborate with few of our partners. And lastly, now as you can see, the following poster is the latest module, where this module has been produced last year, yeah. And we work with this module consists of a complete module that the module from antenatal, from dalam kandungan, still in the womb, as early as 3 months until the baby 3 years old. Okay, how we achieve this is through this, yeah, through this ecosystem. Okay, ecosystem, how we work with our expert, our partner in producing all this material. It consists of all this reading material that is all copyright under Pustaka. We produce and is based on local content and also local flavor. Okay, not only the reading books, we also equip it with touch and feel flip cards. As you can see, here is the wayang kulit, the shadow show here. So there will be a element of interaction there. We can produce a shadow show for our kids, yeah, and also a flip card. These are the sensory board, yeah. You can see. I can make it bigger, right? The sensory board, and also the poster. And here is also the development baby development chart. You can see here. You can see the progress of the baby from birth until 3 years old. What are the motor that they need to achieve from the face? If something wrong, if they're not able to do something that is supposed to be recommended in the chart, the parents or the guardian need to consult with the doctor. here we have developmental wooden block, okay, meaning that there's a certain stage of age they're able to arrange the block, 3-up block as early as 18 months. Okay. Beside that, we also include our partner MeBook Malaysia. Grace very kindly give 1 year access of ebook. Okay, ebook of the ebook of the online material that they can read just by loading the apps and through App Store or Google Play. Free, they can access with login with the passcode, and they're able to access. But again, as the doctor advised, do not, I repeat, do not give your baby this digital below 18 months. Okay, you must only provide this once they already reach 18 months. Why? Doctor say, not me say, doctor say if you are below 18 months, baby below 18 months, the development of the eye still not fully. So it will affect the eye if you give too early exposure of this digital. You know, I saw a lot of parents, when I go out, I saw a lot of parents just give the handphone, you know, to view the YouTube content. So it's not advisable, because not only you jeopardize the eyesight of the baby, but you also make the baby we call addicted to the digital, right? If don't have that handphone, the baby will cry, something like that. So we should have that awareness among our parents, amongst our, young parents, among the guardians, so that they are not exposed too early with this digital gadget. It's very good, no doubt that the digital gadget is very important, but again, you must have balance and also limitation of the usage of that digital ebook. Okay, and beside that, we also have baby milestone and this baby milestone consists of all the journey, the baby development as early as 1 week years. You know, you can see, and baby like to see a flip card, they remember. Okay, we also have a height chart, and this you can see reading parental guidebook. We call module module Ibu Bapa Rakan Membaca reading sheet. Very complete module, and it's already been developed by our expert in early childhood education, and also been peer reviewed by the Ministry of Health. And we are very excited. So every baby born in Sarawak, you know, they can apply for this kit. The reason we do this in-house, the reason we develop this, because we know that is no way for us to purchase the readily market available books, materials, because it will cost a lot. So by producing this material with our partner and the copyright owned by Pustaka, we managed to produce this at a lower cost. Okay. And we can also able to target bigger, wider audience. Okay, and all this reading sheet is not possible without all our partner, right? You can see the ecosystem here. These are the main thing that I want to highlight. Is reading sheet is not just about just buy books, produce books or produce material for our kids, our babies, but it's all about the holistic ecosystem that relate to each other. Now you can see here we work with early childhood expert, in producing the module, the reading sheet, the reading material, the touch and sensory, all this material is all carefully taught and also based on the early literacy development. Okay. We work with our illustrator, designer, okay, and we work with a library. We train the trainer with our nurses. We work with the hospital, the clinic. So again, is I'm over too long, Puan Emilia?
Edison, can we move on to the next poster? And you only have 5 minutes for that poster. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So these are the ecosystem. So in terms of the what next is this module. Not since with the pandemic, COVID-19, we able to come up. I mean, we are in the process of onboarding this module through via open learning platform, where people, where the parent can log into that open learning blended e-learning platform, then able to undergo the module and also finish the module online and just print the e-certificate to claim the reading seat. So this is the next project that we are currently doing, hopefully to be completed in early July. I think next month. So we are in the process of doing that. So again, see, we work with our collaborator, our Women Ministry of Education Development, local government, Sarawak Health Department, and the National Library. And I'm pleased to inform that reading seat has been recognized and also been implemented as a nationwide program. So there are a total of 7 library has participated on this pilot project. So ongoing, the program is ongoing, and that's about it. The National Library have recognized reading seats to be implemented at all the state library in Malaysia. Okay, thank you. So I will move on to next slide. Right. So the next slide is the digital inclusivity for community well-being. So this paper share the initiative of Sarawak State Library. Pustaka is one of the player appointed by Sarawak government. You know, Sarawak government now go for digital economy from 2018 to 2022. So one of the initiatives under the digital economy is digital inclusivity, because the government realized that we cannot, they cannot implement the digital economy without inclusive the rural community who not able to get the information. They don't have that internet access. So we under the digital inclusive group, we take care of the community well-being. Why community well-being? Is we can see here, we want to create a digital readily community through developing digital skill, right? Some like know how to use internet, how to open internet, how to create internet, as simple as that. Yeah, how to communicate through WhatsApp is also very important to promoting digital inclusive digital participation. You can see here, I put it here, inclusive. Yeah, the inclusivity now is no longer just with the rural area community. It's more than that now with the COVID-19 pandemics. We also inclusive community who need information, need a skill, digital skill in using the current, like Zoom. Not everyone have that knowledge or skill how to use Zoom. So now Zoom is the in thing to do conferencing, to meetings. So these are the module. Later I will touch on the module. Yeah. So we start with digital awareness in 2018. We promote this digital awareness throughout Sarawak. Okay, and now we are into level readiness and immersion. So we want to get the community ready to the digital inclusivity, and also to immerse how to fully utilize the digital platform that available, like Sarawak Pay, right? The platform of Zoom, how social media, how to market their product, their local product. So these are the things. Okay, you can see overall we are diverse, geographical diverse, and we have 2.7 million with various. So our chief minister said here, he said, empowering all digital citizens to take advantage of the digital technology to enhance the quality of life. Yeah. So these are the thing. What we do, okay? We did this, we call understand that these are how it looked like, the Sarawak digital economy 2018-2022, and under the digital inclusivity we come up with this is Pandai 1.0. Okay, 1.0 we already into 2.0 now, where we make it available through our online platform, which is open learning. And I'm proud to announce and also to share that we are the first library in Malaysia utilizing the open learning platform in delivering their digital literacy, information literacy to our community. Okay, and it launched coincidentally coincide with the MCO 18th of March. So happened that platform just finished and just ready for launch, and our community able to undergo that the open learning platform for digital literacy. Yeah. So what we did again, we do the trainers. We work with our local authority, public library. We train them so they're able to. This is before a pandemic. So before that, we do the trainers so they're able to do at themselves, at their local community. Okay, so we engage volunteer. How we do it? We engage community awareness and readiness. Volunteer to do the program engagement. We engage the awareness we engage the community leader, ketua-ketua kampung, on how simple thing as doing offline internet, right? Later I will share you on that. Community program, community roadshow, and also community for the students. So it is a holistic program that we implemented throughout Sarawak. So we are very fortunate. This collaborator, the main stakeholder for this project is the Sarawak government under the SMA have fully funded this program. So we're able to use that fund to statewide to implement it statewide. And this is our partner, you can see. And here is our you can see our community, our target group. Yeah, it consists all level of community. Yeah, again, I'm very proud to share that as at 2019, we have conducted 309 programs throughout Sarawak with 47,298 participants. Yeah. And again, these are the challenges, geographical challenges by geographical in Sarawak. Like for example, we go to Kapit, we need to use boat and so on. Language limitations. Some of the community we have to talk in bahasa bahasa Kelabit and so on. You know, we need our facilitator, pandai facilitator, able to converse at the local language. Okay. And again, we also have this lack of infrastructure. Again, not all Sarawak are internet access. Yeah, they have limitation on that, and also disparity in information skill and literacy. Not all able have the skill to use their smartphone to access information, yeah, despite all these challenges. And then again, Pustaka also come up with innovation. We're aware of the lack of internet, so we come up with Pustaka in a Box. It's an offline internet where our community in rural area able to access the information through this gadget we call Pustaka in a Box. It's an offline internet. You just on your Wi-Fi and you're able to access whatever information that we provide repackaged in that Pustaka in a Box. And then we currently doing these two project, pilot project with Kampung Maludam and also Kampung Lolaput. Okay, again, the success story is all about how rural community have the skill, confident to motivate them to use the technology. Then how rural community have the means to transact digitally, yeah, and also the success story is community make the use of technology to achieve a better quality of life. Okay, like homestay, promoting their local products, able to market the product international globally, and able to export overseas. And digital product service are designed for easy and intuitive use by a rural community. Okay. Lastly, before I conclude, the way forward, as I mentioned earlier, the Pandey learning, e-learning now accessible, and we have a total accessible under open learning market. You just go to Google, you type open learning, then you can search our module just by typing Pandey. Okay, Pandey. So this Pandey module can be participated by anybody as long as you have a valid email. You can join our module and you'll be awarded e-certificate once you completed the entire 5 module. So don't worry if you not able to complete it. We have our online facilitator will help you to finish that the module online. We call this as a blended learning, yeah, whereby we have our online facilitator that able to assist you to this e-learning journey, yeah. So again, this online platform is a blessing in disguise. We're able to offer these courses online. With the pandemic, we're not able to do the physical classes. Now we're able to provide this online learning platform for our community, not only for Sarawak. It also consists of all other state who community from other state to join this platform. Okay. So that's it about my presentation for the 2 poster, and thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Edison. So now we have to move on to the next poster. Okay, so I'm calling Puan Nurlailawati Ismail. She's a librarian in the Archive Management Division of the State Library, Sarawak State Library. And she is also a graduate from Bachelor in Information Science, Library and Information Management from UITM. So her poster is about One File, 1 Week campaign poster. So Miss Laila, over to you. You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Today I will share with everyone one of our initiatives to promote efficient and effective record and archive management practice in the State Department agencies in Sarawak. This is the poster for One File, 1 Week campaign. I will start with a brief background about this initiative. In line with Sarawak State Library dual function, library services and depository service, One File 1 Week campaign are a part of the initiative to provide training and guidance in the management of public record and the public archive. For information, all the department and agency in the Sarawak State Government are mandatory to transfer their record with archival value to the State Record Repository. This is the objective of this campaign. The campaign module has been designed based on the objective of this campaign. Each objective is represented by each module. The campaign session will be conducted for 5 working days at the State Record Repository. Usually, 10 departments will be invited to join the campaign session, and the participants are Pegawai Rekod Jabatan and Pegawai Serantau. Module 1, Record and Archive Management Briefing. Okay. During the campaign session, the briefing will be on the importance of records and archive management in the State Department. Why each department in the state need to transfer their record to State Record Repository? Why do they need a record room? How do they maintain a record room? Why the process of record preservation began from the time of the record was created? And what is the role or the function of departmental record officer? So all these common questions that we frequently receive will be explained further during the briefing session. Module 2, Practical Processing of Agencies Record. For information, the file cleaning, or known as processing of transfer file from prosesan file pindah, is performed by the department themselves before the file is permanently transferred to the SRR. During a campaign session, departments are advised to bring their own transfer file that is already been approved for transfer and already been appraised by the Record Management Division. So what if the department do not have a transfer file? Well, usually we will advise the participant who do not have the transfer file to share with the other department who have the transfer file to do the cleaning process or processing of transfer file training. This hands-on training on cleaning process of the file will be based on the guideline that we have been prepared. Each step in this guideline also made available online at Pustaka Negeri Sarawak official website, which is known as e-preservation. Module 3, Transfer of Record and Archive. Module 3, Transfer of Record and Archive. Okay, this session is actually the transfer file to SRR session. Okay, during the transfer session, a designated officer from the Archive Management Division will check the transfer files against the Laporan Pemindahan record. After that, the archive accession form will be produced as a proof of receiving the transfer file from the department. Okay. the achievement and impact of the One File, One Week campaign. This is the impact that we have been received from this campaign. First, create awareness among the Sarawak civil service on the importance of records and archive. Normally, after joining the campaign session, the department will request to conduct a separate training at their department or have a similar training, or they will seek an advice from us related to record management or archive management in their respective department. Next, expand and promote the participant of various agencies in transferring their records to State Record Repository. So this is related to the request for record appraisal. Okay. Number 3, increase on the transfer of record from 2017 until 2019. From this campaign only, we successfully transfer 49,370 records from the department to the State Record Repository. During the campaign itself, okay, from the year 2017 until 2019, 25 campaigns successfully conducted with 221 departments with 588 participants involved in this campaign. So the number of appraisal also been increased from 2017 until 2019, which is in 2017, we received 14 requests for record appraisal, and up to 2018, we received 60 requests, and in 2019 also we received 60 requests for record appraisal. So for further information related to this campaign or other question that related to record or archive management, so anyone can contact us at State Depository at sarawak.gov.my or just call us. So I pass back to Madam Moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Laila. Okay, so we go straight to the next poster. The poster entitled Le Tour du Parc, Educational Park Tour at Taman Pustaka. This poster is prepared by Siti Khairunisa Rosli and Nur Fatini Apandi. So today we have Nur Fatini with us. So Nur Fatini is a graduate from University Technology Mara in Bachelor in Information Science Records Management. So prior to her current position, she worked in Javel Engineering. I believe she's involved in records management there. So now she is in Pustaka Negeri Sarawak and she is the head of Information Literacy Unit. So Ms. Fatini, 5 minutes, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Puan Emilia. So everyone hear me? Okay. Okay.
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will share our poster. Okay. Okay. This is our poster. Before I proceed my presentation, I would like to acknowledge my team member, which is Siti Khairunisa, which my co-author, and Nur Jihan, who designed this poster. So this poster, I will represent my team member to present our poster Le Tour du Parc, Educational Park at Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. Okay. Okay, usually we always hear about the library tour activity that we conduct for the user or our patron. We want to familiar them with our library services, library our collection or space. But we may not hear much about something like library conduct the activity for park tour. So I believe that this is first time, maybe some of you is first time to hear about Le Tour du Parc. So the history is about Le Tour du Parc is as we know that Pustaka Negeri Sarawak practice the concept community well-being in visitor. So where the user not only access a vast source of information, but also they can go gather together for leisure or healthy activities. So saying this opportunity, Pustaka bring the idea of Letua the Park. Letua the Park was launched on 4 January 2020 in conjunction of Chairman its annual address and appreciation. Letua the Park is from French language, which means around the park. As you can see in this poster, the start point and the end point is the same place. So it very clearly why we call this project as literally the park, which mean around the park. So it's not only we just conduct the activity, which means we only bring the user to enjoy the scenery or enjoy the lake, or they're just jogging or just picnic, but we want to give the more information about garden that we have. For example, the objective of this literary park is to encourage the community to appreciate the environment. So before this, we always organize the Pustaka, always organize activity like free planting, because we want to the user for or the community for the future generation to appreciate the environment. So other than that, to attract them to engage in healthy activities. So this means when we bring or when we conduct the lecture at the park, the community not only enjoy the scenery of the garden, but they can get more information about the plant. For example, when we bring them to community garden, for your information, community garden is something like the concept is give and take. So we encourage community to give the seed or grow their plant for fruit, for their vegetables, so they can harvest it for their daily. So they can also indirectly, other than that, we can promote our related book that in our available collection. For example, when they go to community garden, we talk about the dill. So the dill is used for food, cooking something to cook steak. So maybe some of them know about the dill, but they don't know how to get more information how to cook the steak. So we will promote our book in our collection. So indirectly they can get indirectly we can encourage them to search more information to end reading culture in the community. Letua Park offer community 11 areas. Yeah? So this is 11 areas that we offer to the community. So they will start from here. So we will each area we give the code. So something that can trigger the user or community what actually is about that place. For example, the more time we spend, the more memory we create. So it's encourage the parent to bring their children to the safe place is to children playground at our Pustaka. Other than that, we can give them more information about herbal garden. So maybe I think that maybe if a teacher, they want to give information or they want to teach the student about herbal, so they can invite the student or the school go to our literature park, because we not only tell them, okay, this is our herbal garden, but we provide the other information about them, so we can teach them, okay, this herbal is good for medicine, it's good for cooking, it's good for food combination. So it's something like they can get more information. So since we launched this is method that we promote, how we promote to the community about our literature department, because it was it just launched last earlier, so we not receive much visitor, but this is how we promote it. We promote it about herbal that we have in our garden. Then this is a book, this is a place, a chef, they can get more information about the book. Okay, this is how we promote about the picnic place for their parents, for their family. They want the best place, safe place, so they can go to picnic at our pustaka. So this is feedback that we receive from Pusat Penginapan Pelajar Universiti Utara Malaysia Kedah. They said that tiada perpustakaan yang dikelilingi oleh keindahan tasik, landscape dan tasik seperti di pustaka. This is impact, the good impact, the good feedback from our visitor that can encourage other community to come and join our Literature the Park. So our target is for our community. Literature the Park have benefited many communities. So communities not only enjoy our scenery, not only enjoy our place for jogging, for relax, for something for leisure time, they can also get something more information. They can bring something others lah from bila balik daripada Literature the Park. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Nur Fatini. So I believe for now we have to settle with virtual tour of the park first until the pandemic is over. Then we can arrange the tour the park with Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. So moving on to the next paper presentation. So I would like to call upon Mr. Muhammad Anwar bin Adnan. Okay, Mr. Anwar is a graduate from University Technology Mara. He is currently working in Pustaka Negeri Sarawak as an assistant librarian in cataloging unit under the Technical Service Division. In 2018, he becomes the co-author of a paper entitled Where the Past in the Present for the Future, together with Puan Puspadiana and Tuan Haji Japri in the World Library Information Conference in Kuala Lumpur. So today his paper is Making Days of Olds, Present and Future. So over to you, Mr. Anwar.
Okay, thank you, Madam Im, for the introduction. Everyone clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Loud and clear.
I will share my slide. Okay, Assalamualaikum. A very good morning, everyone. I'm Anwar, and today I will present my paper entitled Making Days of Old Present for the Future. Without further ado, I will start now. Basically, my presentation is about indigenous knowledge of Sarawak. As we know, Sarawak is the largest state in Malaysia, which also known as Land of Hornbill. Sarawak contains 12 divisions, and there are more than 30 ethnicity available. Therefore, we can say that Sarawak is rich of indigenous knowledge because of these people, tradition, belief, values, festival, and many more. However, there are still lack of awareness regarding the importance of the preservation of the indigenous knowledge of Sarawak. And the Sarawak State Library come with the initiative on how to preserve, keep, gather, and collect the indigenous knowledge through oral history. If you ask me, what is oral history? According to Patricia Levy, 2011, oral history is based in an oral tradition of transmitting knowledge. In essence, in method presupposes that individual actors have valuable knowledge to share based on their experience, including their behavior, ritual, attitude, values, and belief. Oral history can be defined as the recording, presentation, and interpretation of the historical information based on the personal experience and opinion of the speakers. And then I will share with you guys one of the projects that has been made by my colleague regarding the oral history project called Pesta Nukanan. Pesta Nukanan is a festival that aims to promote, celebrate, preserve, and of the food and culture of the Borneo Islands. Borneo Islands, once also known as the most remote village, in the British Empire. Usually, Pesta Nukenan will be celebrated once a year and will be celebrated usually in June. And then in the Pesta Nukenan, there are indigenous foods and cultural festival, which include indigenous delicacies, traditional dance, folk song, traditional costume, traditional handicraft. And then we proceed to the ethnic group, which ethnic group that celebrated the Pesta Nukenan. Usually, during the Pesta Nukenan, the Kelabits and the Penans are who the one that celebrate the festival. And then we go to the indigenous delicacies. Every village of the Borneo, every village of the Barrio Islands has their own indigenous delicacies to be presented during the Pesta Nukenan. These are the villages that participate during Pesta Nukenan. And then each of the villages, they would sell and showcasing the dishes. What is the famous dishes according to their village. For example, Kampung Barrio Asal is famously known for Kerabu Ulam Raja. And then for Kampung Pak Umo for their salt. And then Kampung Pak Lungan for their wild mushroom, sweet potatoes, and then sticky rice. And then for Kampung Baru, which is not in the KL, basically, and then for Kampung Baru for their Apuk Ubeh and Puluh Petong, Kampung Arau Dalan for their beladan, Kampung Aru Layun for their pineapple. They make any type of food based on the pineapple, which is juice, jam, even in the juices. And then Kampung Buyut Main Borough for their Kulat Laim, Kulat Teruga, and Nubalayu. And then for the next activity during the Pesta Nukenan is a folk song. Folk song called Makasur. And then these are the titles that usually sing during the Pesta Nukenan, which is, as you can see, Ri Kamih Ne, Apeh Me Apeh Pun Tau, Ulin, Lakok Sine Raja Ngaten, Ngeten. Sorry for my pronunciation. And then usually the Klabik folk have their own traditional song. And then behind the story of this song is about love, actually. In those days, they will sing a song to give a message or confession about love to someone. They usually sing this song to attract another person. For example, if in those days, if someone, this woman like this man, they will sing to that man. It's like Surat Cinta lah. And then this one is the compulsory to wear during the Pesta Nukenan. For the Klabit women, they will wear full set of traditional costume during the Pesta Nukenan. Besides, any Klabit woman, they should own the traditional costume in order to showcasing their Klabit's identities. Do you know that the estimated cost for the full costume from head to toe is nearly 5,000 ringgit. It's quite expensive if you ask me. And then we have here traditional handicraft. Most of the handicraft are made from jungle produce such as rattan, bamboo, and leaf. Usually the product they would make bedwood, weaving of basket and mats. And then the Penan folks, also known as a weave expert during the Pesta Nukenan. Other than oral history project, we come out with another initiative which is called Pertandingan Warisan Budaya Tempatan, which has been presented by my colleague just now. And then basically I just add in here the participant for this competition is secondary school, and the main objective is to guide and train. We call the participant as a young researchers in searching information in order to complete a full set of research. As you can see now, there are more than 8 modules available. One of them is oral history. In this training, as you can see, this is the situation how the training is being conducted. And then in this training, the facilitator will teach the participant on how to conduct the interview. In this model also, it's covered the equipment that been used during the interview, location on how the participant will choose for the right location to conduct the interview session, the preparation on how to identify the preparation on how to identify and contacting the interviewee, and how to prepare the question and techniques to ask question. And also usually the facilitator will provide an exercise for the participant to practice. Usually the facilitator will do the grouping session, and then we ask them, we give them one topic, and then they will search the information about that topic, and then we after the sorting the information according to the topic, and then we will ask them about the question about the topic, and then we will do the recording session for them. And then this competition is really made annually in Pustaka Negeri Sarawak Miri, and then it's a good initiative to teach the young researchers in order for them to step ahead in their study. And then in a nutshell, this initiative is a good way to preserve the indigenous knowledge in Sarawak so that the young generation will be able to see and experience it. Thank you. Okay, back to you, Madam Im.
Okay, thank you, Anwar. Okay, moving on. Because we are rushing, so we have to move on. So this is the last paper presented today, to be presented today. So I'm calling Puan Philomena Septimus Amit. This is a paper that she co-write with Puan Nur Afrika Abdullah, Puan Nur Azlina Abdul Rahman, and Encik Wan Mazli Wan Razali. So this is a collaboration between 4 librarians from 4 libraries. So, and a very interesting topic. Do you like your library? So, Puan Philomena is a graduate from UITM in the field of records management in 2001. So, in the past 18 years, she's been working in several organizations within the National Library of Malaysia. So, and currently she is attached to the Institute of Teacher Education, Batu Lintang campus. So, Puan Philomena.
Can you hear me, Amy? Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes, loud and clear. Thank you. You can present now. We hear you.
I just make it straightforward. So my name is Philomena Septimus Amit. So today I would like to present our social survey. It is about, do you like your library? Okay, actually we did it in the 3 organizations. There are cover academic institute library, Unimas, IPG campus Batu Lintang, and UITM campus Marahan. Okay, and then this is the our objective. we have three objectives here. The first one is to assess, evaluate the level of library user satisfaction. Then the second one is to analyze the social perception, the services provided by the library. And the third one is to create innovation services that best leverage on library resources. Okay. Why we choose this topic? We are having issue to attract students to fully utilize. Those issues are, number one, relevancy issues of the physical library. Okay, actually the first issue is just because physical library is very important because it's being transferred to accommodate the technologies necessary for using library resources successfully. Actually, the equipment in the library also is the main factor why students like or dislike to go to the library. And then the location also. Then the second one is users' perception on deciding the library space. That is number three. Number two is library as the cultural engagement. Okay, as we know, library in the campus, which is the place to students to do their reading and references. And it is one of the community's space for group learning and group study. It is also whereby the student can make any activities, library orientation, and meeting. And also the strategic location also, it is attract student too. And the issue number three is users' perception on deciding the library space for learning. Okay, this one is in the library, learning common space is very important. It is to tend to be seen as evaluation extension of information common model. Actually, this library space also, it is support students to do their information seeking activities as location for students to participate in information process and produce knowledge. Okay, it is also a maker space, which is this is the place for them to show their new ideas and sharing information with others. Okay, the next one is user satisfaction on the space at the library. Okay, according to this issue, users actually the library space also provide social space for student to meeting with another, and then meeting with a fellow student between classes. And then the most important thing is why library is they choose the library to together and meeting with their friends, because the library is very safety, comfort, and healthy. It is very certain part of library is quiet place and very conducive and very peaceful place to do their own work. And then it is a gateway also for study, learning, and research, and also again the strategic location. And then last one is authenticity issue of the information provided by internet. Okay, actually library or library staff in the library, because the validity of the information, the users still want to ask the librarian or the staff in the library about the information. They just like believe what people say rather than internet. Okay. The next one is, okay, this is our methodology. Okay, the location is, as I said just now, UNIMAS, UITM, and IPG Campus Batu-Lintang. The survey time frame, we just have 5 days from February 6 until 11, 2020. And then we compile the data using Google Form, and we collected the analysis and then did our analysis on 22nd May, and then the question is we are using Google Form. Okay, this is the respondent. Okay, you can see. Okay, 73%. 73%. You can see here. 73% is female respondent, and 27 is male. Okay, this one is the comparison. You can see. Okay, then responses of this social survey. Okay, as I mentioned just now, this is the pie chart that you can see. The first question is, does the library make you feel smart? Which is 78 agree that the library make feel smart, and 21.7% disagree. Okay, actually 21.7, this one is because they feel internet provide anything. Okay, this is the comparison from three institute. And then the second question is, do you prefer fiction or non-fiction book? You can see here this respondent prefer more to the fiction, whereas 62.3 respondent choose fiction books as their preference, and 46 choose non-fiction. Okay, because as you see from the graph, because this study actually made during semester leave and student induction, especially in the ITM, and assignment season at IPJ campus Batu Lintang, and examination and assignment season at UNIMAS. Okay, this is the comparison. You can see UNIMAS Batu Lintang. You can see this one, because this one is they choose both fiction and non-fiction. Okay, the next question is, do you prefer books or movies? Okay, from this graph, we can see 69.6 choose movies and 38.7% choose books. Why? Because of the situation influence the respondent during the social survey. As I mentioned just now, the study was made during semester leave and student induction, UITM, assignment season at IPG, and examination and assignment season at UNIMAS. Okay, this one is the comparison. All right, the next question is, do you feel the library gives a feeling of safety, comfort, and healthy? Yeah. 87.8% respondent agreed with this statement, and 12.2% disagree with this statement. It is because from this survey, we during this survey, there are problem in air condition issue in all institutions. Three institutions, we all have the issue about the air condition. Okay, this is the comparison. Okay, the next one, do you prefer to meet up at the library as your first choice? Okay, the response 67.4% respondent agreed with this statement, and 32.6 disagree. It is these responses are probably influenced by the response on the feeling of safe, comfort, and healthy, which is 12% respondent disagree. This is also because of the air condition also. Okay, this is the comparison. This is our literature review. And then the last one is, this is our proposed initiative. Okay, the first one is to solve the problem. This one, so we initiate this proposed e-platform for students book suggestion. It is already done in 3 academic library. The academic library, I mean IPG Campus Batu Lintang Library, Unimas Library, Pitari, and PITA UiTM. Okay. And then to adequate space for discussion study. Okay, this one this one actually we propose the hybrid library qualities, just like learning in collaborative, and then we have to we have to make a room with shared access to technology and presentation facilities. It is will attract the student to come to the library to use the facilities in the library. Okay, and then it's also different learning style. It means study space variety zoning, quiet private area, busy social area, refreshment facilities. And then the virtual library tour. Okay, virtual library tour, they can use VR, virtual reality, just like you just sit down and you just imagine you tour the library. Okay, and then the next one is knowledge gateway. Knowledge gateway is just like information superhighway in the library. Okay, everything information in the library, either printed or non-printed or database and so on. Okay, the last one is enhance staff skill and knowledge. Okay, I think the librarian and the library staff have to polish up the knowledge and continuously training, subscribe online course, and then master with particular subject. Okay, and then and the last one is recommendation, innovative services to the student. Okay, innovative services to the student is where we make a space, and then we encourage student to we encourage student to do the we encourage student to with us do the innovative, and then innovative service, just like we adopt the technologies, new technologies to help the students. And then review library collection policy and resources. Okay, this one is we have to continuously review our library collection policy and resources. Okay, the last one is adopt the technologies to set the limited place in the library. As we know, our library is not too big, so especially with the new norms due to the pandemic, so we adopt the new technologies because it's very because to set a limited place, such as we make a place, a maker place, and then we must give also the online database and Google Trend, and then we share to the student how to explore the technologies. Okay, I think that's all. Okay, we back to Puan Moderator.
Okay, thank you very much, Nana. I believe those who are interested in the paper might have questions. You can post your questions either on the YouTube channel or here in the Zoom. Okay, now we are moving on to the next session. So we are actually over the time limit, but I believe you guys are still here. So we're gonna have a forum session. So we have Mr. Mac Eldon. Mac, are you here?
Yes, I'm still here.
Mr. Mac is here. Puan Afika.
Yeah, I'm still here.
You are ready?
Yeah,
and
insyaAllah.
Puan Puspa. Puspa, are you here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we proceed, I will introduce our 3 panelists today. The first one is Mr. Mac Eldon Mike, anak Maxwell. So Mr. Mac is the head of Library and Learning Commons in Curtin University, Miri. So he obtained his bachelor and master's degree from UiTM. He has been working in a few libraries before leading the library in Curtin. So previously he worked in Lim Kok Wing Institute of Creative and Technology, as well as in Swinburne University of Technology, okay, until 2014, where he moved to Curtin. So in Miri, Mr. McElden is one of the active participants or volunteers in CSR activities, and his interest is those related to information literacy and reading campaigns or reading awareness. And he worked closely with Pustaka Miri and Miri Public Library in all his CSR involvement. Puan Puspa Diana is the head of ICT infrastructure in Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. So she also bachelor in library science from UiTM. So she is working with Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, and she is the co-author for the 2018 World Library Information Conference paper, where the past in the present for the future, together with Encik Anwar and Tuan Haji Japri from Pustaka Negeri. Puan Nur Afika Abdullah, okay, she is currently a librarian in Perpustakaan Tun Abdul Razak UiTM campus Samarahan. She graduated from UiTM for both her bachelor and master's degree. So she has been working in a few or different library settings. She worked in an academic library. She worked in Curtin University Sarawak and Swinburne University before. And she also has worked in Pustaka Negeri Sarawak before this until she is attached to University Technology Mara currently. Okay, so our topic today, okay, is actually the theme for the event, which is Librarian.Connect.Community. So let us go straight to the topic. When we start with the topic, when we decided on the topic, it was way before the pandemic. Okay, therefore, we choose the topic by looking into the conventional library setting, where you can meet up with your users, where people can come to the library, and we are talking about connecting people to the library or to the physical of the library. But with the pandemic and the movement control order, everything becomes different. And actually connectivity has become more crucial than ever. It's just that the setting might be a bit different. Okay, so since our panelists are from different kind of library, so they might be able to have a good discussion on connectivity and library, and of course the community of their libraries. So as a start, I will ask questions, and all three of you can answer my questions, and we can go on from there. So my first question would be, what is your definition of your library community? So Mr. Mac, would you like to start?
Thank you for the opportunity, moderator. To define our community here in Curtin University, Malaysia, we do not limit it only to our students per se. We also serve to our local community, talking about the teachers, the school students, even we go away to reach them in rural area. So basically, if you would like to define it, to narrow it down, I would say that we serve all, but within Miri region. Yeah.
Okay, Puan Afika?
So for UiTM Sarawak, actually for your information, UiTM Sarawak has 3 campus, which is in Samarahan campus, Samarahan campus 2, and Mukah. And then mainly we are cater for students, staff, and also the lecturer, and also our local community. And then the 3 campuses and the 3 libraries are located surely for cater all the user needs. And then for your information, the total number of students in UITM Sarawak, nearly 9,850 students. And then this is a big number for the library to fulfill their needs and to cater all the, even for the local community. But however, we are trying to engage with the community with a program that we are planning for the community to get community engaged. Okay, moderator.
Okay, thank you. Puan Puspa.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. As a state library in Sarawak, we serve all types of communities, regardless of age or race. Despite being in remote or rural areas, we are not neglecting them as they are part of our community, and responsibility as a library to make sure they access to the information and services that we offer, even in different formats. Yeah.
Okay. When we say connecting to the community, can you maybe explain the before and during pandemic situation? How do you connect to your community before this and during these few months that we are under MCO? So how do you connect to your community? Mr. Mac?
Yes. All right. Thank you. Well, definitely, I would like to say that before the MCO, it is quite easy for us to connect to our users because of the condition where the user can just come to the library and ask for information and all sort of that. But after the MCO has been implemented, of course, there's a lot of there's a lot of difficulties for our users, especially if you're talking about the the local community itself. At this point of time, the only way that we can connect to our users, especially our students, basically we just go through online. I mean, that's the best that we can do. But for the local community, we are actually in the midst of planning a method on how to connect to them. For a starter, we would like to reach out to the teachers and see how we can do with that. There's no doubt that this pandemic is actually really having a big dent, really gave us a big impact. But surely we will overcome it, and we will come up with a new way on how to connect to our user for that. Yep.
Okay, how about you, Madam Afika?
Thank you, moderator. I agree with Mr. McAdelen. Before the pandemic, the easy way we can face-to-face with the lecturer, even the student or local community. However, during the MCO period, there are limitations for us to connect directly for the user. However, what we can do during the MCO, we support online teaching and learning by providing the digital library collection, where our user can access all the library resources anywhere, anytime, as long as they have the internet connection. And then, but for the community, local community, for the time being, we haven't planned yet since the pandemic is roughly trigger our duty task and we need to cater our stakeholder first, our new customer, there is our user, students, and the lecturers. And then for the students and the lecturer to support teaching and learning, the users can easily access our resources and easily can chat with librarians, where we provide the chat with librarian where student, staff or lecturers can ask the library whatever the problem they have to solve, whatever problem they have in regarding our collection. Okay, sure.
Okay, thank you. Puan Puspa, since your community is much bigger.
Yeah, I agree with both panelists. Okay. Before the pandemic, we connect community by providing the user-oriented educational environment. Plus, we as a librarian, we are also responsible to organize educational program. and also the exhibitions for the community to grow intellectual and information rich. In the other hand, during the pandemic, all the program, all the exhibitions was on hold. Okay, so we have the resources that we need as a librarian, then we need to adapt to the new norm and be flexible in any required platform. Way to serve the community with professionalism and also friendly manner for both physical or digital community.
Okay, from your answer, we see there's a different, okay, in terms of connectivity and how you serve your community. So during the pandemic, do you think that the role of a librarian is less relevant or more relevant? Mr. Mac?
Yeah, I don't really want to put it as irrelevant yet, because the librarian role actually has become more and more needed in this point of time, because it's just the way of how we are going to shift it from the conventional library to the new norm, as what has been mentioned during all of the presenters and also by our panelists just now. I do not deny, though, that some of the role has been shrinking, especially when it comes to customer service section, where there's a need for a one-to-one or face-to-face, a personal touch and things like that. Even worse for the academic library like 13, because the student normally they come to the library because they need to have like what they call it a group study. And with the MCO implementation, whereby there has to be a 1 meter, and not even the student can be in the group, it really, how to say, it really affects us in that sense. But we, as a librarian, we do not stop there. How do we help them is that we try to give them any kind of software or any free methods that they can get from Google, and tell them that they can use that to hold an online meeting. And we also have, we get this webinar session provided by our vendor for free to teach them how to learn or to study using online resources and whatnot. So I believe, I would say I do not want to put the word irrelevant for the librarian role, because I think it's getting more and more relevant for us to teach them on how to study, to learn using online resources. Yeah, that's for me, moderator.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mac. So, Madam Afika, I believe that UITM would be another academic library. So, and I believe as a lecturer, we also are facing issues with online classes and so on. So, how relevant do you see your role as a librarian to support the students?
Okay, thank you, moderator. Okay, during the COVID pandemic that currently happening now, libraries still can play a role in providing true and solid information for the public, not only the users, not only the lecturer or students, where the library as information center will collect and provide the information, and then providing the infographic about the pandemic. To support, as mentioned by Madam Emilia, to support the learning and teaching process, there are various platforms we provide to the users. For example, online learning, MOOC, UITM Library, massive open online access courses for the user, which is where the student can learn online from their home or from the hostel. UITM, about UITM institutional repository, the online databases, the exam paper, QPS, and the electronic books. Not only provide online learning MOOC program, the library also has a platform we call it Easy Access, where all resources, databases, all resources journal available from that particular platform. The user just need to key in the ID number and the password to log in, and then it is freely available, freely access to all the UITM users. And then apart from that, the library also offer online training for online databases where we collaboration with the vendor. For example, do the Scopus training, Web of Science training for our user, even though they are not available in the campus. But we know that they are still need the information during their teaching and learning, especially for the student during the assignment period. And then for the online training, basically we'll support by Webex or webinar or Google Meet. So this is the only way that we can connect with our user out there. And then online information literacy class also through webinar or Webex or Google Classroom. And then this is all freely available to all the users. And then one of the initiatives that the PITA to stay connected, we call it stay connected anyway, anytime, anyone. So any news, any new information, any new update on journal, on database, we are emailing, we are promoting it to our user through social media, through email, or through WhatsApp group. And then this is help them a lot in their assignment, in their teaching process. So we hope that all these initiatives can help, that we can still relevant to the situation, not only during the pandemic, but also after the pandemic itself. Okay, moderator.
Thank you. Puan Puspa. So I believe your audience or your patrons are very much different, and they are multiple in terms of age group, in terms of the community. So how do you see your relevancy in the pandemic situation as a librarian?
For me, we as a librarian, we must play by ear. During the COVID-19 outbreak, the librarian and even the users stopped as the physical library. We are in the digital era. I agree with Madam Afika, we can provide various of service in the online platform. So all the information can be retrieved at our fingertips. Thus, we are moving toward a digital society and responsible for being part, educate the community with COVID-19 outbreak. Besides, we can contribute to society by creating awareness on public health. For example, by producing infographic posters and videos.
Okay, thank you. So my last question, because we don't have much time. So what's next? Okay, what is the future of library service? Maybe post-pandemic and in the future, what's the future? Mr. Mac?
Yeah, well, I believe everyone familiar with M. Ranganathan's fifth law of libraries, and I quote, the library is actually a growing organism. As what Ms. Pupa has mentioned, we have to embrace changes, accept the new norm. And what the librarian can do is we have to adapt to it and produce more materials which can be accessed online. And not only it can easily accessed by our users, but it has to be fully understood by them. And we have to find a way on how to come up with all of these materials. Might be our effort is only 50% because of course 50% would definitely come from the state government whereby they have to come up with the connectivity to most of the areas in Sarawak first. But we also play a bigger role whereby we have to come up with all the content first and so that it can be disseminated to all of our users, both our own patrons and also to the local community. Yeah.
Onafika?
Okay.
What's next?
What next? So what next? How should library after the COVID? Well, we still maintain our services, what we have now, but we need to improvise the library services, the library collection, virtualize it into the digital library. So because I believe that in the future, the library will go on digital. They are more likely less go to the library physically. And then as a librarian, we also need to ready, and then we need to brave to change, and then however, and then we need to the new skill to improve ourselves before we bring the library into the community, right? For the first, we need, as a librarian, we need to we need to know the computer literacy. So before you even begin think to about digitalization, we must first familiarize what's up with the concept of technology, and then so that it's easy for us to literate our users and to literate our information. And then apart from that, we also need to improve, or we need to have a new set skill, the web literacy. And then we need to familiarize with the web and media. Now we go for digital, go for online. And then now people nowadays are more for online and then go social media. So we need to familiar how to connect, how to set the planning, the library to maintain or to remain relevant. And then we need to market our library, not only to market our library for the user, but to local community, as mentioned by Max Edelin. So we need to get community involved in our library activities so that they know our role is still there, not only for books reading, but only for another thing that can help them improve their life also. And then after that, managing digital resources. So this is important for the library to managing our digital resources. Our printed collection maybe in the future is not popular anymore, but we can digitalize our resources and promote it to our users, right? And then collaboration. So we need collaboration within the library, not only the academic library, but within the public library, maybe with Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, we can do the collaboration so that we can know what is our user needs in the modern area now. And then also we need to improve our customer service, not only in the physical area, but we can do in the online version, chat with librarian, WhatsApp, Telegram, and so on, that we promote the library itself and promote our role that will help to maintain the library and will keep the library relevant in the future. That's my opinion. Thank you, moderator.
Okay, thank you. So, Puan Puspa, your last remark. What's next?
Okay, what's next? This pandemic, after the pandemic, this will be new norm for the library. Library will be operating as usual, but with strict SOP by both users and staff. For example, temperature check, sanitizer, using masks, and also social distancing. This to ensure healthy workplace in maintaining our
Puan Puspa, your connection, I believe.
in our way. Yeah.
Okay. So since we have done with the discussion, that was a fruitful discussion, a lot to think about, a lot of changes and of roles that we need to consider, and it's a different future in a way. So before we end the session, I would like to invite Dr. Rashida Bolhasan. She is with us. She has done the opening remarks in the morning. So I would like to invite Dr. Rashida, if you can actually have a closing remarks for our Salco today. Dr. Rashida, over to you. Okay.
Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum, a very good afternoon, and maybe I take this opportunity to mengucapkan selamat Hari Pustakawan kepada semua pustakawan-pustakawan yang ada di Sarawak khasnya dan juga Malaysia amnya, or anywhere, whoever is watching us at the moment. I must say congratulations to PPM KSAR for realizing SALCO, the fourth SALCO. We didn't stop at just kata orang, I mean, the COVID-19 did not stop us from having SALCO. We cannot have it face to face, but we were able to have it online like this. And I think this will be the next normal that we are going to use for the next year or so, or in more future to come. And also the pandemic gave us this opportunity of really realizing and materializing what really do we call digital libraries and digital library services. And what we have put in place, the digital facilities and capabilities that we have in the last 20 years is not the only digital that we're going to be facing. We have to move on to the next digital, whatever the next digital is going to be. So I have been listening to papers from, starting from Anwar. I just finished my session with PPM just now. And I must say congratulations to all the paper presenters. And I would like to appeal to all the paper presenters to submit your papers to Sarawak Library Journal, which is under Pustaka. And we hope this is not the only time that you produce contents. And in my appeal at the PPM level just now, librarians now should take this opportunity as content creators, because we are literally sitting on information resources that can help us to create more content, and especially on our local contents. I agree with Afika just now. There's massive collaboration that needs to be done, not just collaboration within the libraries, between libraries, like what we are doing now is a fantastic collaboration, regardless of what type of libraries we are, but more so the whole ecosystem that makes libraries and librarians continue to be relevant. It can be with our suppliers, it can be our communities, we have other inputs from other people out there, the industry. In our appeal just now on the context of our theme for Hari Pustakawan Malaysia this year, staying relevant, is we have to take the initiative to let people know that we have a role to play in whatever the situation, whatever the environment that our stakeholders are facing. And we have to be the one to say, hey, I can help you with this. So congratulations to everyone. You have done a fantastic job. See you in the next SALCO. And thank you to PPM KSAR for organizing this.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Rashida. So I believe that is the end of our SALCO. We are a bit, or not a bit, we are like 1 hour over the actual time. But thank you for staying with us. To all the panelists, thanks for your contribution. I hope to receive your contribution again for the next SALCO. And thank you very much to Pustaka Negeri for supporting and giving us ideas to continue with this kind of events. At least we are actually having, if we cannot go to or join most events in West Malaysia, and in this situation, I believe that being here, being local and contributing to the local environment would be our best contribution at the moment. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
That's our Kolokium for this year. I hope to see everyone again next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Keep safe. Be safe.
Right.
Thank
you.
you.
Stay safe.
Bye. Thank you, Mazli. Is Edison in? Is Edison still here?
Doc. I'm here, Doc.
How are you?
I'm okay. Looking forward for the operation on Tuesday.
I wish you well and
thank you.
Heal well. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Bye.
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 Bye, Puan. Bye, madam. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Bye, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Hai Puspa.